Our revered queen made a very mischievous move when she gave Meghan Markle and Prince Harry a painful lesson about robbing her of her childhood. It's a lovely name, along with being shady about the ghost children, Archie and Lily. The rumored will of the late Her Majesty is being discussed, and let's learn it together in this video of mine. Hello, friends. Welcome to the King YouTube channel. Now, according to the latest reveal, it was said that the late queen in the days just before her passing made changes to her private will where she can leave personal effects and items, etc., to exclude any gifts to Archie or the purported Lily child. The clinic where the Lily child was born was shut down quickly. This feels like a response to legal threats, etc., after some catastrophe in the whole surrogacy process. Did the birth mother eventually refuse to cooperate? There's been a lot of uncertainty surrounding the christening of the mysterious Lily child. Did Diana's sisters show up or not? And who exactly performed the baptism? It's all a bit murky. Then there's this odd toast from King Charles at the coronation lunch mentioning Archie's birthday wherever he may be. Strange choice of words, right? You know, I've always thought that titles come with a nice chunk of change from the royal treasury. Wealthy folks often set up trust funds for their grandkids, allowing for fancy schooling and designer clothes. Can't exactly show up at the yacht club in bargain basement attire, can you? I reckon the royal family operates on a similar principle. That's probably why Harry and his mistress of doom were keen on having kids right away. They wanted that royal cash flow. And it seems like Meghan found a way to navigate the system's loose checks and balances to have those kids, which I bet didn't sit well with the queen. That's why the Danish royals were upset when their titles were lowered. They lost their welfare support. It's confusing for sure. But one thing is clear, lucky that the royal family doesn't challenge their story about the children in flames, how they're confident they'll be believed, no matter what they say. I support surrogacy because of the strange things that happened during her pregnancies, births, and childcare. This has been going on for almost 4 years now, and I've looked into all their stories from Netflix, Finding Freedom, Oprah, etc. There are many inconsistencies and things that just don't make sense. Plus, they haven't been transparent about births and birth certificates. It's strange how my research meant to prove doubters wrong actually made me believe in the surrogacy theory even more. Archie is almost 5 now, so shouldn't he be starting school soon? Wouldn't that naturally bring him more into the public eye? All fancy private schools may keep tight-lipped about their students. Wouldn't someone notice him eventually? He might attend a birthday party or have one of his own with new friends. It's odd that they've never mentioned looking into schools for him. There's something fishy about those supposed kids and how secretive everything is around them. Personally, I'm starting to think they might not even exist, but I'm waiting for the truth to come out. It's going to be tough for a lot of folks when the truth comes out. I believe there's a better than 50 chance that both children were born through surrogacy, and the heirs might not even have full parental responsibility for the youngest. In my opinion, the royal family should just come clean. Except for anti-monarchists, I don't think the backlash would be as severe as they fear. If William were king, this deception wouldn't have lasted so long. I am Queen Elizabeth, and King Charles come from a time when embarrassing things could be kept under wraps, but times have changed. I think most British people would understand that it would have been unbearable for the Queen to admit, especially at the end of her life and reign, that she'd been deceived by a fling and her own beloved grandson. But now it's time to be honest and just come out with it. If there's indeed something to reveal, it would show a more modern and transparent royal family. It might squash Meghan's plans of publishing a fictional memoir, but most importantly, it'd be better for those 2 real children, wherever they are. On another note, what's the rule regarding the line of succession in childbirth? Can you choose any doctor during pregnancy, but need a royal physician during birth? Actually, a document states that the child must be born of the body, which basically rules out surrogates in almost all royal births over the past century. Royal doctors have confirmed this numerous times. Many royal birth announcements have been signed off by them in public proclamations. Interestingly, Archie and Lily are the only royal children whose birth announcements from the palace haven't been witnessed by royal doctors. In fact, the royal secretary used to witness all royal births, but this tradition was discontinued by George V, who called it an outdated custom before Prince Charles was born. Unfortunately, George V didn't anticipate Meghan Markle's involvement in the signing off witnessing process, so doesn't mean a royal doctor isn't present in the room during the birth, but comes in later to confirm the baby's arrival, just to make sure there's actually a baby. All of this feels like Meghan was given too much freedom. And maybe they thought Archie was too far down the line of succession to raise any objections. But the law would have had to change long before Archie was even conceived. The Perth Agreement altered the law so that girls no longer lose their place in the line of succession to their brothers. So therefore, Princess Charlotte remains ahead of Prince Louis, but the law doesn't apply retroactively. So Princess Anne is still behind her brothers, meaning they would have needed to change the law regarding surrogacy before Markle became pregnant. But Markle seems unconcerned about the law. She wanted things done her way. She desired princely titles for children who weren't entitled to them. She aimed to have her surrogate-born children included in the line of succession regardless of the law. And remember when Meghan was pregnant and made her belly-hugging moments look even more peculiar. If she had used moon bumps, it would be the royal family's fault. There's no scenario where blame isn't placed on the so-called racist institution. By allowing one of the most divisive figures into their family, they may face consequences. However, to be fair, they're in a very unusual situation. They literally carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. We all have difficult people in our lives, but we're not constantly under public scrutiny. No one cares about the troubles we deal with. I don't envy Charles' position. He has to consider a whole nation, the Commonwealth, his sons, his mother's legacy, and his own reign. The stress must be immense for the royal family. I also believe the royal family's legal advisors have been working hard to figure out how to clean up this mess and reveal the truth, or at least part of it, without appearing too involved. But let's be honest, that's going to be a tough task. The public can't be easily fooled in this age of the internet and social media, unlike 25 years ago. I still think the Sussexes were given special treatment because it's the way the royal family always dealt with Harry and his troubles. No, the surrogacy issue is a major mess up. No doubt about it. However, if it turns out the kids either don't exist or they're born via surrogacy, then I'll gladly change my stance. But I'm not going to change my mind after watching a video of Madam at a dog charity event or seeing her skirt move oddly in the wind. I want official proof, but I don't think Madam has a motherly instinct in her. She only acts like a mother when it suits her, like at a charity event. Just like she only acts like a humanitarian during a photo shoot in Africa or a member of the royal family at a film premiere. I don't think she's capable of much more than seeking external validation by appearing to be something and surrounding herself with people who make her look like she's something on the other hand. I don't understand why there's a Feature Have I O page for Archie. His parents have no role in the monarchy and don't represent the royal family. It seems unlikely that the supposed children will have bio-feature pages on the website, even if they are the monarch's grandchildren. Andrew's, Edward's, and Anne's children didn't have such pages when they were the late Queen's grandchildren. So why should Harry's children have one? Is it because the palace doesn't know the details of when or how she was actually born, and they don't want to spread misinformation? Maybe Lilette was carried by Rachel, but if it turns out they lied or weren't informed beforehand that it was carried by a surrogate, the Sussex supporters will defend Rachel. They might claim that the British royal family forced her to wear a moon bump while Rachel was unaware. I'm pretty sure that's what they'll say. Additionally, they can't just release annual pictures of their child like William and Catherine do, or even a family Christmas card. It's the least they could do after being granted prince and princess titles. It's puzzling. They were fine with featuring their children in the Netflix series, but can't release a few official pictures now and then. It's just odd. Sharing some photos could potentially address the doubts about their existence and could also be seen as extending an olive branch not just to the royal family, but to the public as well. Since everything they do seems so strange and poorly timed, releasing pictures would be one normal thing they could do, like every other royal family does. I truly believe it's not a matter of safety or privacy, but rather that Meghan enjoys being difficult and stirring things up. That's why I'm relieved to see this web of lies starting to unravel. In fact, I've been doing some research this morning about the majority of images they provided to Netflix for their docudrama. Town and Country has thoughtfully archived these images. She provided Netflix with images for their kid montage. Some, I believe, are of Gavin Greengrass, the younger version with dark hair, Addie, but the others taken with a boy in a bee sweater and jeans, along with the one with a boy holding balloons, were taken on the same day during a photo op trip to visit a farm and animal rescue in Ojai, California. Slomdale boy is walking on his own. We're led to believe it's Archie on the same day at the hummingbird feeder, shirtless with dirty feet, through Meghan's convenient voiceover for Netflix. However, I believe the boy and girl seen in images with Ashley, not Meghan, are her children. Look at those pictures, which are all Netflix has, and none are taken by them or their crew. They don't own or control them. You'll notice the images of the girl are all from the same Ajax A as are most of the ones with the boy when she brought them for a visit. Keeping the kids hidden is just another miscalculation on Meghan's part. I believe kids will be well liked, but sadly not in the UK or the USA. It's not their fault. It's disappointing. Children may become another business failure for the Duke and Duchess or end up like Tag or Instagram, never really taking off. I think they'll introduce them eventually, but it might not be very exciting, more like their grandfather Marco's side of the family. Perhaps there'll be a magazine feature, but most people won't be bothered if it's just about surrogacy. Many won't care at all. The royals might try to spin it for sympathy, saying they're still our kids. We adore them. They might claim the evil royal family is pushing them out of line for succession, but most of the world won't be concerned without kids. If they don't have children, it'll be scandalous, and Harry and Meghan will be remembered in history as awful individuals, finally revealed to the world. I'm curious if this connects to the recent story about a woman being assaulted in California, where the attacker's wife allegedly helped cover it up and intimidate. I have a feeling the surrogate knew she was placing an innocent child into the care. Two completely irresponsible, potentially abusive individuals. The sudden closure of the doctor's practice raised red flags for me. It's not something you see every day. I suspect there may have been some falsification or tampering with paperwork regarding the birth of the daughter, leading to the doctor either being pushed out of town by the medical community or deciding to close her practice and give up her license to protect herself from disciplinary action. I wonder how much they paid her to stop practicing. Even in the Oprah interview, Oprah seemed surprised by how prominent the surrogate's role was. It seemed like after filming that interview, they met up several times, and her belly seemed to grow rapidly between those visits. It'll be interesting to see how the mainstream media addresses this. From what I know in my community, doctors usually close their practices overnight due to a serious illness, or if they've been caught doing something illegal. It's definitely unusual for a physician in their 30s with a thriving practice to vanish like that. Where did they go? What happened to their staff? It's all a mystery. If both kids are genetically Harry's, then Archie might be with them occasionally. However, I have a feeling he might need special care, so he might not be with them every day. As for the girl, Lily, I think they might not have been able to complete the adoption process, so they might only have limited access to her from the birth mother from time to time. The whole situation is strange and quite sad. We hope wherever they are, those children are safe and getting the proper care they need. I have a feeling Madam doesn't have a single maternal instinct, so I wouldn't want her near any child. I hope the truth comes out by spring. I believe the kids do exist, but were carried by surrogates, and Rachel isn't clueless about that. If it's revealed she lied about carrying Archie and Lily, then it's likely she lied about everything else too. Harry and Rachel seem busy keeping those kids out of the public eye, and one reason might be their fear of their secret being exposed. The royals know that the kid's story coming out will cause chaos in the British royal family. The boy was about 3 back then, and now he's almost 5. Christopher, Ashley, and Meg aren't close anymore after Meg pulled off this Netflix scheme involving her kids. Ashley probably won't raise a fuss about it. Just like the British royal family, it'd do more harm than good to the actual children and to other families involved besides the RL and the other baby's mom who you see in the pictures with them walking around the farm. There are 2 kids shown, but their faces aren't visible. It's strange how during the July 4th, 2023 parade in 4 or 5 pictures of kids, you only catch a glimpse of an ear or an elbow. I think it's because the new boy looks nothing like Ashley's son, who we were led to believe was Archie. The eye of this new boy looks completely different. She's got a dilemma, but she imagines it a few times a year. It's too late to repost those old images of singing and drumming from over 2 years ago. Now it's either post something new or nothing at all, and she's stuck. I doubt Ashley will ever allow her to share pictures of her kids again. Just like the mother of Gavin Gingras, who briefly played Archie, I've wondered if the kids exist but are being kept hidden due to Harry's paranoia about his family's safety and privacy. Maybe the Archie and Lily we've seen are just stand-ins so the real kids can't be recognized. They might even attend preschool under different names with nannies handling pickups and drop-offs. It's just a thought. Harry is clearly traumatized and resentful of growing up in the spotlight. It wouldn't surprise me if he's determined to keep his family life private as a way to defy the media, but who knows about Archie? If Harry is so affected by his royal upbringing, why did he insist on giving his children prince or princess titles? The best way to ensure their privacy would have been to refrain from giving them any public titles. The British people have the right to know everything about anyone in the line of succession, as they will be supported by British taxpayers and hold permanent positions in the British government. If the British people want details about the Sussex kids, they should have access to them. Calvin fought fiercely to secure those prince and princess titles. It seems to be what she values most. However, now she won't have Betty added to the line of succession webpage because she refuses to provide a photo and necessary paperwork. It's hard to believe there isn't an issue with obtaining that paperwork legitimately. Or could it be a serious offense to falsify paperwork in order to improperly place a child in the line of succession? Finally, it's so abnormal in every way. I can think of several A-list celebrities that keep their kids out of the limelight because they want them to have a normal childhood, yet are still seen out and about occasionally because that is a normal childhood, going to fund public events, maybe Disneyland, some local fair, or shopping. Your kids can't learn how to behave at these sorts of things unless you take them and teach them how to act in public. Let them see the big old world out there, and the fact Madam especially has been happy to ditch Archie completely to fly off to other countries when she was still a working royal. That behavior continues today, but with both and you, what do you think about these Archie and Lily bit babies? Let me know your views below in the comments. Don't hesitate to press the like button and subscribe to the King YouTube channel to receive more videos. Besides, please share my video for everyone to like it too. Now, goodbye and see you in the next video.